Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined tonight by the OD Ohara Davies. How the devil are you?
I'm good. We're on we're on lockdown.
Yep.
But, luckily, as an athlete, I can still train, so my gym's
Oh,
still
don't rub
open.
it in. You know what I mean? That's low key flex, mate. I'm like, Street said to me the other day, like, what do we do for our 100th episode? And I'm like, at this rate, you're gonna have to cut the fucking side of the flat out so I get outside. Like £600 lifestyle. Like it's not fair. I
No,
love that.
it's not. But
No.
hopefully, this thing will end March, April times. I heard should be ending, so stops should be they should be opening back up soon.
Hopefully.
Fingers
Hopefully.
crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like for you, is it because obviously, like you said, you can still train, but
Yeah.
it's not really that much change for you, right?
Not that much change at all. Boxing's changed in a sense where
Yeah, of course it has.
obviously there ain't no fans. Fighters are getting paid less. Fighters are having to take harder fights now, and they're fighting less frequent. So there's more people trying to get on track. There was more of a rush. So
Yeah,
it's affected boxing, but personally, and my boxing career hasn't been affected. So I'm one of the lucky ones, I guess.
that's wicked. Do you think like the competition for like obviously, the rankings are the rankings or whatever, but that list of phone numbers, do you think that's shrunk or do you think that's got bigger and it's just like if O'Hara prices himself out by 10%, someone's going to jump in and like, where before there would have been a chat, it's an instant like we'll go to the next name.
I didn't really understand the question.
Oh, like we're in COVID, like you said, it's like a bit like there's more fighters, it's harder, there's less money and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Is it like from a fighter's perspective? Do you think there's like a little bit of negotiation power that's lost, or is it still all good?
That negotiating power is lost 100% because a promoter just says it's not enough money no more because there's no fans.
Yeah,
I've been speaking to quite a few fighters and like they're all taking pay cuts and they were asking me how much I got paid in my last fight because they're trying to compare it to what they're getting paid in their fight.
yeah,
Yeah.
And
Right.
there's nothing that they can do really. Either they say I want more, and then the promoter says no, and if they demand more, they'll say okay, cool, well you're off the show. You ain't fighting again for another 10 months. So they got no choice really but to say yes.
that's
I
bad.
feel
Innit?
like that's one thing where they on that end they really should take it for the team because for all those years they're taking all the cream from the fighters. I totally get it. The money's not coming in now. Fair enough. But you've built a stockpile of all the years before. Pay the guys, man. Like the job you guys do is like one of the hardest jobs you could do in the world. And you're still it's not like you're doing less now. Like you said, the opposition people are having to face, they've stepped it up because it's like everyone's, so your job is harder to get paid less. That's bullshit.
That's so true. But you know what? The way I see things is at the end of the day, boxing is a business and promoters looking out for themselves. They're looking out for themselves. They don't really care about the fighters. As long as they're earning, they
Yeah.
earn from each of our fights. So they're not thinking about giving us a break, making us happy because we're not loyal anyway. Like as soon as another boxing promoter offers us more, we're gone. And they know
Yeah,
that boxing is a dog eat dog world. We'll
Yeah.
dog them, they will dog us. So they don't really care about us. So a lot of fighters have got no choice right now. And I've just been looking back, observing. I like to observe what's happening and what's been going on. And a lot of fighters have all been affected worldwide.
yeah. Like we had Bradley Skeet on Friday. And he was basically saying at the beginning of lockdown they offered him Conor Ben with not very much notice, and I said to him like a friend of mine got offered 3 days notice, and I think that it was like a sub 10K, and it was just like number one, I can't even make weight in 3 days, let alone like for that money. It's just not worth it, and it's just like people being exploited is the wrong word, right? Because opportunity is opportunity, but it's loaded up for one side much more than what it used to be, I guess. How do
Exactly.
you
And
how do you find the how did you find the no crowds? Was it good for you or was it?
it was amazing. The best thing I've done. The best thing I've
Really?
done. 100%. Because the thing that I know, Tyrone McKenna loves the fans. He loves the fans. Like he could be in a fight, getting beat up, getting hit. As soon as he
Yeah,
hears all the cheers from all of his fans, he just gets a new life in him, and he just
yeah,
goes for it. But in our fight, he was on the back foot the whole fight. He didn't open up once, and I know that was because there was no fans. And
Brilliant.
thing about me, I get booed in. I get booed into the ring. I get booed when I'm in the ring. That if I hit them, the fans ain't saying anything. If I get hit with a little jab, everyone starts shouting. So me having no fans there, it was like sweet, mate. Like I was like, sweet. I don't mind doing it again next fight.
Is that kind of how you prefer it?
100%. That's why I prefer it, because I can concentrate more. I can focus more too. And
Yeah.
when you're in a fight, sometimes I feel like you're in a circus. You're there to put on a show. I'm not there to put on a show. I'm there to win, and I'm there to be a tactical fighter, a smart fighter. So having no fans there benefited me, because I'm not trying to put on a show for the fans.
Fair.
That's so true. And like you nailed it when you said the fans, their opinion will sway so quickly. But the win or the loss is what's remembered at the end of the day, right? So you see a lot of fighters, they almost lose themselves to trying to please the crowd. And it's like, at the end of the day, fuck that. You know, they're not doing that job. They're just watching what's put in front of you. You got to stick to your game plan. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But it's a thinking sport at the end of the day. You know, you're not there with weapons trying to kill each other. It's a thinking person sport.
Exactly, 100%. You're so right. And too many fighters try to please a crowd in one way or another. Like what they say outside the ring, like they have a fake image, the way they post, or they won't post what they really think because they want to get a few likes and a few retweets. And that's never been me. I've always been all about myself. And you know, when you try to please the crowd, when you lose and then the crowd goes against you, you start getting a bit depressed. You start thinking, and you start feeling sad, because it's like, I thought these guys were on my side. Now they're all calling me a prick.
Yeah, I mean, like one of the worst ones ever. It's got to be AJ, isn't it? Like the darling of British boxing takes one L, and then everyone's like, he's. I had one client of mine was calling him the new Frank Bruno, and I was like, that's like, number one, how dare you mug off Frank? Everyone loves Frank. Number two, like, relax.
It's just how quick they are to do it. Like Lomachenko, straight away, it's like, oh, he was never shit anyway. I knew it. It's like, fuck off. Like the same people last week were saying best thing since sliced bread, and now based on one fight, that's why. Do the performance, man. Fuck the
way I saw boxing fans treat AJ once he lost. I was like, damn. Like AJ's been a man of the people. AJ's a humble guy. He never boasts. He never says anything arrogant. As soon as he lost, bang, they all turn against him. So that's why I do what I want, and I say what I want to say. I don't care if I offend these fans, because I know if things all go tits up, they ain't going to be there for me anyway. So fuck him now. I say fuck him. That's why I am how I am, and everyone's got their opinion about what I say and how I am. But at the end of the day, you got to look at all the people past and look at how the fans treated them. And
absolutely,
you know, Lomachenko was the same thing. Or just take a look at Daniel Dubois. Before Daniel Dubois' last fight, everyone was like, this thing, next big thing. And since he got beat, quitter. He ain't good. He was a hype job. He was this, he's that. And I'm just like, damn. But these are lessons that they have to learn, that they've now learned the hard way. They learned the hard way. I learned by looking at other people. And I made my judgment based off that.
And it must be freeing just being yourself, you know, not having that pressure to fucking, I got to say this, so these people like this. Just when you're yourself, either like it or don't. I don't give a fuck. At least you don't feel like it's another job, because it's hard enough doing the fight shit, let alone the press stuff. If you're having to put on this fucking fake act as well, it's tiring as shit to just, you know.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, when you be yourself and you speak too freely, it can work against you at times.
Oh, yeah, especially these days. Everyone wants a reason to hate.
Yeah, sponsors will leave you. It'll be harder to get sponsorship deals. You know, like a lot of things can go against you. So it's about it's that, like, there's still boundaries. There's still boundaries that you can't cross. And you know, there are certain fighters that tried to do what I do, and it didn't work for them. Tyron Booth is a prime example. Tyron Booth, that he was a crap boxer. He was like a journeyman anyway. He weren't no good. But he come out and said the wrong thing, and bang, the boxing board took his license of him. They took his license of him. And there's been a few other names, but I won't name them because I've made
yeah.
Other people that they cross that boundary. But with me, I just go far enough to let the boxing fans know I'm gonna toss by any of you guys.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like the fans are obviously the fans, but you got to do what works for you. You got to do. I mean, they're not your friends. Like that's the long and short of it.
Also, too, it's like it's in the name. If they're really fans, I think the fans are a separate kettle of fish to a lot of people that just have the TV on with boxing going and then they claim to be fans, but they don't understand the fucking sport. They've never been there or been here or anything like that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people are too comfortable these days giving their opinion like it matters, which everyone's entitled to an opinion for sure. But if you haven't been there, if you haven't experienced it, you don't know. Like, I'm not going to go to Michael Jordan and tell him how to shoot a basketball. Like, yeah, I've shot one, but I'm fucking shit. My opinion means nothing. But fans seem to think they can tell you guys how you should fight. You should have done this, should have done that. It's like, you've got top level athletes throwing punches at you. You know what the fuck you're doing. They don't. So that thing annoys me a little bit, how comfortable people these days, especially with social. Like, I think social is a great way to build everything, but people are very comfortable these days talking outlandish shit they'd never say face to face. It's getting weird.
100%. I look at online, look at black fighters getting like they're getting called names, black monkey, black this, black that. And I'm like, a lot of these people outside, if they saw any of us on the streets, they won't say any of what they say. Not only that stuff, trolls. You got trolls online that say you're a cunt, you're this, you're a shit boxer. But when they see you in the street, they'll be asking you if they can have a picture. That's why I never let that stuff get to heart. Once you sign that deal, when you say I'm going to become a pro athlete, I'm a name, you have to understand that I'm going to take some shit online, and you have to be thick-skinned. If you're not thick-skinned, this stuff, it will gobble you up and you'll get depressed. Look at people online killing themselves. Caroline Fleck killed herself because she couldn't handle all of the abuse that she was getting from online and the media. So when you become a public figure, like of any sort, you have to say, you know what, I'm ready to handle this. And I've never let anything that I've read or seen them write about me online affect me. I literally look at them and laugh. I remember I typed my name up on Twitter last night. Some guy he called me a name. I forgot, it was a weird name. He called me something, but I remember looking at it and I was laughing. I was absolutely laughing my head off. And I'm like, that's like, if you look at that stuff and it gets you sad, you're in the wrong game. You are in the wrong game.
Well, even like you said, they wouldn't say it to you face to face. Not even that. They don't even say it with their real names. They make little accounts with like no followers, no photos, no nothing, just so they can chat shit. It's like, who has that much fucking time on their hands?
But then again, I am thankful for them because they are who make us what we are. A lot of boxing fans, they're all mostly trolls. And I'm like, if it weren't for them, I won't be the person that I am today. So
yeah, that's true.
The sweet and the bitter at the same time. Like, a lot of boxing fans are not the average men you see up in like the Wolf of Wall Street, trader, businessmen. Those people are not the main boxing fans. The main boxing fans, the everyday work is like the everyday working man. That's the online troll, and he's got 10 accounts over Twitter that he writes stuff on. Those are the guys that make us who we are. So, we got to take the sweet and the bitter together. That's a
good way to look at it. It's a good way to look at it.
I fear for the day that we get to a certain size where we start getting trolls, because I'm going to be a fucking nightmare. Like, I can't help it now. I'll respond back to them, those FX bots, or I'll do it to everyone. DM to collab. That's just my favorite thing. No matter what someone will put on, immediate DM to collab, or I'll start talking about investment opportunities with Bitcoin. Like, it's the way you got. Like, I just respect to you for not getting involved, because I would.
I'll be honest, I won't lie. Like, about a year ago, I was getting so much stuff said about me online. I made a show account over Twitter, and I remember anyone that wrote bad things about me, I used to go on their account, find some information about them, and absolutely maul them.
Yeah.
I had that account up for about 6 months. I spent every day writing to guys, and they knew that it was me, because I was only getting back to people that would write bad things about me. And they knew it was me, but if they can't prove it, then they can't really do anything about it.
That's
and And then after about 6 months, I thought, you know what, it's long. Let me shut this page down.
You start binning off the training, eating popcorn at the computer.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
that. Did you have you decided whether or not you're going to fire up that page again and just start relentlessly trolling Florian? Just start giving him you're not even going to give him that energy, are you?
The thing about that Florian Markey thing, I'm now over that.
Yeah.
That was like, that lasted about a few weeks or so. Like,
Yeah.
we're different weight classes. We're on like different levels in our boxing career.
For sure.
I'm going on to world level now. He's got a hard fight next, which he's not even on English level yet. So he needs to work his way up there. And you know, you can't get into a beef with me based on Instagram followers. Like, you need to win something first before you even put your name and my name in the same sentence. So I'm just looking forward to his next fight. He's got a hard fight next, so I'm just looking forward to see how he does in that fight, because if he fights how he fought in his last fight, no one was impressed with how he fought in that fight. So he has to show us something new.
To be fair, there's nothing more of a boner killer when you've got someone with a big social media following that's giving it a lot of shit. Like, and not only do they not deliver, no disrespect to Florian, like, it just wasn't a good mesh. Like, styles obviously make fights. Them two did not mesh at all. It just wasn't great. And you know, when you're repping, what is it, 500,000, 600,000 followers, and giving it large, it just doesn't come off well.
That's so true.
Unless your surname's
it's
Paul.
so true. This
Yeah.
Let's see about this next fight he's got. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait, because this guy's a really good guy. It's the guy that knocked out Joe Laws in his last fight. He took that fight on short notice, if I'm correct. This fight he's had a few months notice. So I've been seeing him in the gym over social media, working, grafting, training, sparring. So like, this is Marky's first test. If he can come through this, then it's like, okay, this guy's actually a contender. He's not just an Instagram fighter.
Yeah. Nice. Who are your I know you're going up to world level now, but like, who are your dreams? Have you got like a plan, or are you like all comers, anytime, anyone, I'm in?
I want money.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, you know, I've never been the kind of guy that looks at that fighter and says, I would like to fight him.
Yeah.
To be honest, like, it's all about, I'm trying to set myself up for life. So once I'm out of this game, I can say I've achieved something, because I've seen way too many fighters leave this game having a lot of fights, a lot of experiences, but with no money and nowhere to live, really. And you know, I don't want to leave this game and say I've got this experience, or I fought on BT Sports, I fought in America, I've got all these girls, but then I've got nothing there. I need to leave the game with money. I need to make investments. Show me the money.
Now, are we talking about a level of wealth? Because this is like my remit. Are we talking about a level of wealth where you sit down in an armchair and just go, this leather's not suitable for me? Or are we talking a level of wealth where you go into the kitchen and you just say, this is an Italian marble? What are you trying to pass on me? Or are you talking about a level of wealth where you refer to someone as like, listen here, you 60K nothing, like that level of wealth?
I'm just talking about the level of wealth where I can live the life that I want, and I never have to work a day in my life. So I want to make smart investments, and I want my money to make money. I don't want to have to work to make money. I want my money to make it for me. This is what I've been looking at, different investments. I've only had this mindset that I've got now the past 2 years or so. I've been thinking about, what am I going to do after my boxing career is over? And we have to think about these things now. Otherwise, we're going to act upon it. And I'm learning from fighters that I've been around in the past. Ricky Burns, a good mate of mine, he was bankrupt. He was a 3-time world champion.
That's so sad, isn't it?
3-time world champion, and he had to declare bankruptcy after getting sued by Frank Warren. And I look at examples like that. I remember speaking to Ricky Burns all the time in the gym, taking from all of his experience, taking advice from him, and I've used that just to ask myself, what do I want? I want the belts, yeah. I want the experiences, yeah. But I want the money as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we saw Danny Williams fight
Oh.
recently. It's heartbreaking to think he's still having to do that because it's a different thing. You know, you got someone like B-Hop who got on in years and kept fighting because it was just he loved it. He thought he was still at the top, and he was still at the top. That's a separate thing. But sometimes when you see people, you're like, you're there because you need to be there. You don't have it. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's so sad. And the thing is, once they wait all those years and then they come back after all those years, they're not making as much as they
no.
made in the time. And plus, money's gone down. Like back in their days, if they got 10K back in their days, they'll be like 50K now. So now for one, they're getting paid less, and also the value of the pounds dropped. So it's like, come on, man. I remember, if you go online, if you go into Google, type in Tommy Hearn's net worth. I think his net worth is, I think it's 50 grand, 50,000 pounds 2 years ago. I remember, and I'm like, this guy won 7 world titles. 7.
Yeah.
7.
It was just
I
different
met
era, innit?
Tommy 4 years ago, I think in Vegas one time. He was just like doing a signing, and in my head, I thought he got out relatively with his faculties and it was, I mean, it was so sad to see. He could barely hold the pen. He was shaking, and people had to kind of usher him, and it's just like, this is the annoying thing that the fans forget. And like Floyd always said, he goes, listen, don't tell me to sit on the front foot and knock people out. Like, I see my uncle, I see my dad, I see the effects that boxing's done. You guys don't, you forget about us the second we're not fighting anymore. So the same people that yell and hit him, knock him out, blah, 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 really, they don't give a fuck. They just want to see a blood show. But like you said, you got to be smart about it, because there is a life after boxing, career after. You want to do the best you can while you're there, but also there's a lot of years after that. And so it's good to hear, man. You got your head screwed on well. We wish you the best of luck with all of that, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, it's weird, isn't it? Because like footballers have a massive, like they have a massive infrastructure around them to manage their money, to make sure that they're not, buying the ball at house when they're just getting their first contract and all of that stuff. Like, the only thing I can sort of assume is that boxing is so much more predatory from the business side of things compared to the fighter, that it's like, you get a little bit of cash in the pocket. You're like, fucking wicked. Do whatever. No one educates you about, tax, accountants, like all of the bits you need for managing your business, your brand for yourself. I mean, like for you, post boxing, would that be something that you'd be like trying to help other fighters with, or it's just like, I've made my cash, I've done it, I've navigated it, I'm out. You can text me if I've got your number.
That is something that I would like to do. I like to help other fighters speak about what they want to do after, think about these things. But one thing I will never do, I will never charge them. I would do it free of charge. I want every fighter to become independent and to be financially smart, because I've seen boxing and the way that boxing is. People don't really advise us on what to invest in. People don't really tell us about how to save money, how to live. In football it's a bit different because they earn a lot of money and they get paid weekly. Fighters, boxing's a poor man's sport. There's a lot of money at the top, but the lower you go, there's less and less money there. And I was that guy once. I wasted money. I remember I was living at mum's house still, and I was thinking about buying myself a BMW i8. Cost about 60, 70K that car. And my brother said to me, "You're gonna get a car. You're gonna park it outside mum's house on the road, yeah." And he laughed at me. That's when I was like, and that's when we said, you know what, let's get a flat. And you park the car outside your flat. So that's how it all kind of started off. And but I would love to do that for other fighters, because a lot of managers don't advise their boxers. A lot of promoters, a lot of coaches don't advise their fighters, because the boxing manager, the promoter, and the coach only earn when the fighter earns, and they want you to fight as much as you can so that they can earn. The second that you are now in a place where you don't have to fight, they earn less money, and I fully understand it. They're looking out for their own interest, but looking out for their own interest comes at the expense of our brain cells and us damaging ourselves and our body week in, week out.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because it's like such an amazing sport, and it does so much good for so many people, as well as, name me another sport that's got as many films made about it. Name me another sport that's as romanticized. Everyone on the planet knows what it is. Yet it's just so dark when you really look into it a little bit. Like,
And it's like, remember in the Don King, we did a history
yeah,
episode on Don King. Fucking hell. And like someone nailed it. They were like, boxing's the only sport where the lions are led by the mice. Like these little businessmen that can't fucking fight themselves make all the cash. It's insanity. It's crazy.
It is mad. It's literally so mad. I'm just smart that I've got the mind that I've got now to think, like to think about these things, because a lot of fighters don't have this mindset that I've got. A lot of people see me as, because I'm online, I talk a lot of shit online, I act a certain way. Thinking about people say I act like a clown, but I say juggling cells. The clown gets paid. So I do act like a clown sometimes, but I don't like to show this side of me, because this side doesn't make no money. This side doesn't sell. Ain't no one trying to go and tune in and see a smart guy fight or be humble. They want to see talking some trash and ruthless, crazy. When you're mad and you're crazy and you make yourself seem unstable, that's what gives the fans a buzz. That's what they want, and that's what they want. So that's what I try to give them. But inside, mate, I'm sat down. I read every day. I read every day. I spend hours sat down, learning, expanding myself mentally. But that's it's a side that I'm not really going to show people, because that doesn't sell.
I mean, like you said, it doesn't sell. Like Floyd in the Pretty Boy era, like he was spectacular.
Yeah.
No one gave him the time of day. Then he become money. People start paying attention to him, and then they start mucking him off. As to my limited memory, I think there's only ever been one fighter that I can think of, whiter than white, humble, smart, articulate, and maintained the absolute savage role all the way through. And that's Andre Ward, right? It's the only one I can think of.
The only one that I can think of. Yeah.
Yeah.
And arguably, for not talking shit, didn't really get the in the boxing world was widely respected, because how can you not? But for the general public, so many people don't know who he is, for how incredible he is. That's the sad thing, because like you said, he doesn't talk shit. And a lot of people that don't understand sport, they want it to be like WWE. They want the person with the mouth. That's a sad part of it, actually.
I mean, when
that's
you've
so true. Like when you look at
go on, man.
I think like when you look at Andre Ward's not a superstar. He's not a megastar like he should be.
No,
like
he should.
Yeah,
Floyd's a superstar, a megastar. Andre Ward should be, but he isn't. But he made a lot of money in his time, retired early, done the smart thing. So he is a one of a kind. Other fighters trying to go and say, I'm going to be like Andre Ward, I'm going to go back, I'm going to go off that blueprint. Yeah. You see when you're trying to beg to get a fight and you're getting fucking £500 a fight and you're fighting once a year, then you go try that and see if it works for you, because not everyone's Andre Ward.
No.
Very
I mean,
true.
and that is it. Like, he's a once every 15-year kind of talent. When you're, I mean, we've seen it a few times. You know what I mean? Like, the fun bits of Ohara on YouTube is when you're getting a little bit spicy with someone. Right? When you've done the weigh-ins before and it's kind of kicked off a little bit, is that just like a product of you weight drained or weight made? You're gonna fight this geezer. You're like, I'm gonna put an extra couple of quid on the fucking ticket sales right now. Let's do it. Like, or is it literally just like, I just do not want to be here right now. I want to go and eat. I fucked off, and this geezer's in my face. I'm not having it.
My mindset is like, just, you know what, fans like this and they want to see this, so I'm gonna give it to them. That's all really. I have nothing against anyone that I box or anyone that I will fight. I've got nothing against them. It's never personal to me, but the fans like all that stuff, and they know me as being a bit crazy, being a bit unstable. So I act a bit crazy, I act a bit unstable, because that's what they want. But that's all really. It's just it sells a few more tickets. It gets my name a bit more out there. So after every weigh-in that I have, it's not just me, it's my fight amongst 8 other fights.
Yeah.
So I have to I have to
Stand
stand
out.
out. I want people to lead there saying, yeah, you know, this fight is the main event, it's a good fight, but OD's on the undercard and listen, at the way OD said this mad shit, he done this mad shit. So I've got to stand up. The same thing that at the time when I saw Floyd at the O2, I had nothing against Floyd. Floyd said something that I didn't like, but it wasn't enough for me. It wasn't enough for me to go and arguing over it. But I said to myself, I'm a fan. I come here and I took a picture of him and I'm fucking pleased that I did amongst 1,000 other people. How am I going to stand out? So after Floyd, like, you said something that I didn't like. We got like 2 million views on YouTube. People see me, like, oh, listen, man, I saw that Floyd thing. Big up for that Floyd thing. Everyone was like, oh, that was so good. That was so sick and amazing. So I was like, yeah.
Did you expect him to like bounce back that hard?
I don't know what I expected.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, because that's either going to go like one way where he's just giving it the cookie cutter. I'm sure you're a hell of a fighter, you know, young, strong,
tough, young
hungry
competitor.
champion. Yeah. Or it's just going to be like he might just go mad. Like, and this was kind of just sitting in between where he gave you like gold, didn't he? It was perfect.
He did 100%. But Floyd's like he's like my biggest idol. I've always worked Floyd since I was young, and I still work him to this day. So you know, I think Floyd understands that it's just business. He understands how the game works. So he's probably done that just to work for me to get some views. Who knows?
Was he the one that got you into boxing at the beginning? Was it like did you see Floyd as a young man and just go, yeah, I want to give this a crack?
Floyd, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, they were my idols from when I got into boxing, but I started boxing in a little youth club that I used to go to. That's when I started. And then once I liked it, then I started to go online and look up Floyd, Ali. Outspoken fighters were always my favorite.
Nice. Where was the youth club?
It was in Hackney. It was in Hackney. I used to go there because I was getting in a lot of trouble. I got kicked out of my school. I had 2 pending court cases. I was in Crown Court at like 16 years old, 15 years old. And the trial went on for like 2.5, 3 years. And it was during that time. I was 18 when I first put on a pair of boxing gloves in the youth club, and I thought, you know what, this shit can work. And I went back there every Wednesday. I went back there, and then the guy took me to the actual boxing gym. Coach took me to the actual boxing gym, Tony Cisse, and then from then I started going down the gym every day. I had no school, so I was just spent my whole time in the gym, and he kept me in the gym.
I love that.
That's good shit, man.
That's what we're saying like earlier. Like it's so much good. So you don't go to that youth club, God knows what happens now, right?
No, I'll be in jail.
Yeah,
I'll be in jail.
Potentially, yeah, almost certainly. Like from what you said, like, yeah. I mean, you got to be thankful for that. Like that's kind of the beauty of it, isn't it?
100%. Boxing changed my lifestyle in a massive way, And I remember when he was my coach, when I was amateur, he came out. I was the first one was they were doing me for attempted murder. First one, that trial went on for like 2.5 years. That trial, I was like 15. The trial finished, and I was like 17, almost 18. And then class A drugs. And he come out to court and he begged the judge to not send me to jail because I can fight for the Olympics one day, or I can become a good fighter. I could do something positive. And the judge listened to him, didn't take me to court, gave me a few hundred hours on community service, and it proved to work. The boxing worked for me.
Do you think there's something that kind of needs to come back to the UK system? Because like my dad had boxing in schools. You know, I know obviously it's a lot softer now. You like if you tell someone by their wrong name, you get done on sexual assault or whatever it is now. But like, do you think that's something that probably needs to come back in for the youth?
I believe it should, but I don't believe it will, because this world now is changing. Like the world's different now. It's all different now. They say boxing violence, and you don't want any violence, do you, in schools? Or if you get into boxing, you know, they'll learn to punch and they can kill their next door neighbor. Like they say all these things. So I don't believe that it's gonna happen with how the world is changing.
Ironically though, when you kind of know what you're doing, you're much less likely to do it, isn't it? when you know the
100%.
consequence, when everyone's taking a fucking hiding off of someone, you're just like, oh, I can't be bothered doing this.
It's the old thing, isn't it? The decisions are made by people who don't really understand the thing themselves. They're like, yeah, boxing bad. Whereas there's so many stories of that where boxers turn people's life around. And the reality is, when you're fighting in the ring so much, you don't A, have the fucking energy to do it outside of there, and B, you start thinking like, you know, why am I going to do this for free? I get paid to do this shit. The last thing I want to do is give away a free show.
100%. 100%. And that's how it is. That's how it is. But it's not how the majority see it. And you know, the majority, they control the world. They control what happens. So yeah.
Not good.
Not the truth.
We should start a movement.
Revolution.
Yeah. Yeah. The OD crew. So you won the golden contract. Looked good. Right.
Yes.
What coming up? What's next? Are there any announcement or anything? And I've just been completely out of the loop.
Coming soon. I haven't spoken to MPK yet about what's next, but I've just been enjoying life. I put on so much weight, so today I got on a scale and I was like, damn, I need to focus on getting the weight off. Been doing my jogs in the morning now, so I'm just focusing on trying to get fit, and you know, I'm in no rush to fight. I'm in no rush to fight. So
you only fought in September anyway, right? It's the end of September as well.
Yeah.
Ain't that long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago. So I'm also buying a new flat, so I'm just waiting for it to go through. It's just taking so long.
Yes.
I want that to all be done before I get back into camp.
Yeah.
But so that's why I'm not in really no rush right now. But I think I'll probably fight again mid-May, sometime in May, June.
Nice.
Probably.
Now, as I insert myself as your financial advisor, because I'm 10 years older than you, are we talking rental flat or are we talking abode? Because with a little bit of paperwork, it could go either way. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Be a rental flat. The first one, me and my brother have gone halves on them. So the first one we moved in. Then we bought this second one a few months later. So then we rented out the first one. We live in the second one. So this third one will be gone for rent. So
get the portfolio. Go on, son. Like that shit.
What does is your brother part of your team, or is he just your brother?
Just my brother. He is a part of my team. He comes to all of my fights, comes gym with me, we train together. So we're doing the properties together.
Lovely. That's the best way to do it, isn't it? Like family. That's the most solid with family. That's the most solid thing. Property, all the way. I mean, my people come from the caravan crew, but people nick them, so you don't really want to muck about with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like property is it's got to be the best investment, isn't it? It's just something that you have. It's just there. Yeah.
And it goes up. It's one of the few things you can buy that actually goes up in value. Yeah, you get a car, the second you take that motherfucker out the lot, it's worth half what you got it for.
Exactly, 100%. 100%.
How many hours a week do you sit there hovering over the buy Bitcoin button? Just thinking, I'm going to get into this. Oh, I'm not doing this. I'm going to get into... Nah.
Downloaded so many apps. I've been trying to learn it. Spoken to a few people. Spoken to people, and I'm just like, why didn't I buy Bitcoin when it was worth £1? But then I think about getting into it now, into stocks now. But then I just sit down and I think it's not my field.
Yeah,
it's not my field. Like even though people like that thing is making millionaires every day, it takes time. It takes time, knowledge. It's not as easy as just putting money in this. Otherwise, everyone will be doing it. Everyone will be earning. But just as much as you get people that win, we get more people that lose, but we don't hear about the ones that lose. All you hear is about the ones that win, and then you jump in it, and then you lose. So
that's how they made that money. Yeah.
For real, exactly. So I'm thinking, just be smart, focus on the property, focus on the boxing. That's it.
I got a mate of mine who put $1,500 into Bitcoin, like early doors, when it was when they were like fractions of a dollar. And 2 years ago, when it all went off, it would have been worth $250,000. Now it's worth probably just shy of $1 million. But of course, of course he left the US. Of course he left the machine that he did it all on, and of course it's never ever to be seen again and unrecoverable.
Yeah, you hear that
forever.
shit all the time. People forget their logins
Yeah.
and they're like, well, there's no fucking trace of it otherwise.
Yeah,
No way.
yeah. I mean, to be like, he's not hurting, but like, it would be quite nice for him to have that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just
that take the edge off, wouldn't it?
100%. Wow, that's mental. Crazy.
Yeah, mate. Ohara.
Another
Mate, this
reason to
was
stick
wicked.
to the houses, man. You
Yeah,
can't lose
stick
your
to-
house.
I mean, to be fair, like even if they go down in value, you can still live in them.
But you can still rent them, even if it goes down in value. Buying it to sell, you're buying it to rent. So it's all about like the rental value. As long as the rental value goes up, maybe a little bit down, stays the same, I'm okay. So that's what it is. It's all about cash flow. We ain't trying to sell. We ain't trying to be like. I feel like you sell when you need to sell. I don't want to be in I don't want to be in a position where I need to sell.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen. So I'm not preparing for that. So
See, now it's so nice to
Man's got a plan.
Yeah,
I like
to
it.
speak to a fighter who's, you know, you've got a plan, like Street said. You're executing the plan, and you know, the fighting is a means to generational wealth, which is what I'm all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Patreon.com, CoffComCute is £5 a month, gets you to listen to our podcast. Boom, plugged it. There we are. Listen, on the internet, you never know. £5 a month can go a long way. Yeah. Have you? Because I think you'd actually be quite good dabbling in like the new media,
What in that what's it called again?
like
Patreon.
podcasts and like YouTube channels and like all of the new media stuff. I think you'd actually be quite good in.
Yeah, man. Should do fucking business advice one. I'll be tuning in, listening. I'm like, I would need these tips, man. Fuck.
We're gonna do a business one, right? And I'm going to formally invite you. We're going to call it Splendor Daddies because we're not rich enough to be sugar daddies yet. But you got 3 properties, so you could quite comfortably be a sugar daddy. You got to come on that one and just start talking proper biz.
I'll be on there 100%. Get me on there.
Yes. I'm probably going to have to spend... We're going to have to spell Splendor with like an AH so we don't get sued.
Otherwise you get sued.
Because, yeah. But Splendor Daddies all the way.
Wow. I'm on that. I'm up for that 100%. I can learn a few things too. I mean, I'm always up for learning. We've all got ideas as long as we can mix those.
Boom. Saying.
No,
I think you'd be quite good. Would you consider it?
100%. I am, because I am, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you got our number. You know Vitamin J, what we call Jake. Like, hook this shit up. Collabs.
100%.
Right.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Watch when you start seeing DM to collab on all of your posts from me. All right, bruv. Thank you so much for your time, man.
So much for joining us, Jeff.
This was wicked.
Oh, I loved it. If you guys
Thank
want me
you,
on
man.
again, I'll be on anytime. Just give me a
Love to,
shout.
brother.
Love to, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Take care,
Have
guys.
a great night, yeah. Take care.
Bye, man.
Bye.